Hello Stampers, I'm Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today we are going to be using the Celebration Tidings stamp set and the Celebration label dies. This is a beautiful suite in our new holiday mini catalog. This is also going to kick off the Stamping Society Design Team blog hop for the month. Now, there's only one demonstrator in each of 6 countries, and we are New Zealand, the Netherlands, US, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. So you're going to get a great variety of different ideas from all over the world. Don't forget, at the end of the video, you're going to click up in the top right corner. I always want to do this, but then it could be that because my camera could make it backwards. I don't know. Top right corner, that's going to take you to my blog where you can join in on this blog hop. I think you're going to see some fantastic projects. There's also a tutorial, a video tutorial. It's a private video tutorial that is available to everyone who places an order with me. Now, you can only order with me if you're in the United States. But if you can't order from me, you can order the tutorial for $7. It has 6 exclusive ideas using the Celebration Tidings suite of products with photographs, written instructions, dimensions, and a complete product list. Plus, each one of those 6 has a video tutorial for you. It's a fantastic tutorial. So let's flip this camera around and I'm going to show you some pretty fall cards that I made with the suite of products. This is the Celebration Tidings stamp set, and it has 13 different images in here. We've got Valentine's, fall, Halloween, all occasion just for you, and Christmas. Then we have this gorgeous set of label dies. This set of dies has 15 different dies in it, along with dies to cut out the spider, dies to cut out little hearts. We've got some little corner images here, some little sprigs. Absolutely love this set of dies, and I'm going to show you some neat things to do with it. Also included in the Celebration Tidings suite of products is this embroidered ribbon. This is really pretty. It's very neutral. You can actually color it with our Stampin' Blend markers and make it whatever color you need it to be. Also, the Plaid Tidings 6x6 Designer Series paper. You guys have seen me use this a lot. I love the variety that's in here. We have some all occasion. We have Christmas. We have fall, Halloween colors. It is fantastic. And plaid is very trendy right now. So let's get started on the projects that I've created for you today. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. For those of you that are new to me, I just take a piece of printer weight paper and I tape it on the back to protect it so I don't stamp all over it. This is the cushion that I like to use. It's rather firm and I like to use this to stamp on. Plus it protects my table so I'm not stamping all over the place. I'm actually going to be showing you 2 cards today. My first card has a card base of rich razzleberry. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And just so you know, still photos, a complete ingredient list, dimensions, and also product lists can be found on my blog for all of the projects that I'm showing you today. Once I've got that edge burnished, I've got a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of Whisper White that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I've got a scrap of Whisper White, a strip 3/4 inches wide that we're going to trim down of the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. Oh my gosh, I couldn't get my words out. And then I've got a larger piece here that is 4 by 5 1/4. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little decorating on the inside of our card. Now, I always love these little elements, and I love that Stampin' Up! Gave us 4 of them because you could put them in the corner all 4 corners with one pass through your die cutting machine. So I'm going to add mine right up into the corners here. Now, if you have a magnetic cutting plate, you can certainly, I would recommend using that. If you don't, I like to take a little bit of washi tape if I'm not using a magnetic plate, which I do have, but I just want to show you alternatives. And I take that washi tape and I put it on my clothes and peel it off several times just to take away a little bit of that sticky. And I'm going to tape that right on there. I'm going to bring in my brand new die cutting machine. This is our Stampin' Cut and Emboss die cutting machine. Sorry about that. We've got a platform here, number 1, and I can see that if I want to use this with dies, I'm going to use platform 1, 2, and 3, and I love that these are all numbered. So I've got platform number 1 down. I'm going to put platform number 2 down. I'm going to put platform number 3, or a cutting plate, down here, and then we're going to place our cardstock and our die in here and put another plate number 3 on here. This new machine is fantastic. It's a little bit wider than our old machine was, so you're not going to chew up those big embossing folders, and it goes through just like butter. It's so smooth. And now we get to see what happened here. So I'm just going to pull these off. You want to be careful when you're pulling off your washi tape, because if it happens to have a little bit too much sticky on it, you'll rip your cardstock. That's never fun. So I'd be really careful. Now, the other suggestion I have for you is to get your die ready to go again. And I never put my dies away with paper stuck all over in them. So I'm going to pop out those little pieces that are in here. There's holes for you to do that. And I'm going to put these little tiny dies away so I do not lose them. Have you ever lost a little die? It's maddening. Okay, here comes our piece. Now what I'm going to do here is I've got this 3/4 inch strip of designer paper. This was actually a scrap that was in with my pack that I cut something else from. So this is a great way to use up those little strips. Just take a moment and add a little decoration to the inside of your cards. We do all the fancy stuff on the outside, and then I feel like our cards are neglected on the inside sometimes. When you open a card, the party should not end. That's how I feel about it. Isn't that, it's just striking. Of course, this paper helps because it's so beautiful. Now I'm going to mount my Whisper White layer onto my pumpkin pie layer. Try to get it straight here. It's a very thin little margin. Then we're going to put this right inside our rich raspberry card base. And isn't that just stunning? Add that little extra layer of cardstock, that colored cardstock, to really make it pop. Okay, now for the front. So what I decided to do with this is I am going to use the second largest die on a white layer. I'm going to die cut that. And then I'm going to take the designer series paper and I'm going to use the next larger die to die cut right in the middle of this. So let me bring in my die cutting machine. I am going to die cut these. I'm going to fast forward my camera because I don't want to take up too much of your time with this. You know how to die cut, right? My phone just told me my battery was dying, so I hope you guys didn't miss anything, but all I'm doing here is die cutting the labels. Okay, we've got this one. The nice thing about the stitched labels is that not only does it leave stitching on the edge of the piece you're die cutting, the label, it also leaves stitching around the negative end that you may or may not throw away. Here's our designer series paper. And again, we've got stitching on the negative and the positive. Okay, I'm going to grab my rich raspberry ink here. I've got my stamp set mounted up and ready to roll. I'm stamping the Just For You right at the top of my label. And then I'm going to grab Memento black ink and stamp this kind of floral image. There's a bunch of stuff you can use this for. All occasion. You could also turn it into Christmas colors, and that's what I like about something that has some variety in it like this. I'm going to grab my light rich raspberry. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see what I'm doing here. Just going to color in all of these little bulbs. And of course you could do any color you want, but I thought this would be interesting to use the light rich raspberry. I'm going to grab my dark pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to kind of outline these little, what would you call these? Little seedy looking things. I don't know what to call them. Seedy thing works good. And then I've got both, oh, by the way, that was dark pumpkin pie if I didn't say it. Now I've got both old olives, the dark and the light. And I'm just going to, I like to use the artwork that Stampin' Up! Provides for me to put my shadows in here. Now I'm coming in with the light old olive, and I'm going to blend those dark lines in. Then I'm also going to take the light and just go over these spriggy looking things. It might be a little, I don't know, pine bow, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Okay, once we have this done, we're going to take the negative left over and we're going to glue this onto our card front. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue. This is my favorite adhesive. I like that I can slide things around a little bit. You want to use it very sparingly. You don't want glue gushing out all over the place. But this is my favorite adhesive. And you, like I said, you can move it around a little bit if you need to. It's not stuck there permanently the minute you put it down. Then we're going to grab our Stampin' Dimensionals. I've got lines drawn on my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I do that so that when I pick the backing off, I know that I've got it off. Let me show you what I mean. Little line there, boom, I know it's gone. Oops, that one didn't come off. Now I know it's gone. Just a little tip for you. One of my customers shared that with me, and I thought it was brilliant. Now I'm going to put this right back in because these are nesting label dies. And isn't that absolutely stunning? One more thing I wanted to do, I wanted to use a ribbon that's matching. So I am going to take my pumpkin pie marker and I'm going to color a portion of this. This is our white, Whisper White crinkled seam binding. And when you go, you can get all of the links to these products on my blog, but you can also go to the online store and type in crinkled seam binding, and this will pop right up. Now you want to do this ahead of time so it has a chance to dry. It doesn't take long. This is very thin. These are alcohol markers. I already have one that I made a little bit earlier so that it would be dry and I could use it. And I'm just going to tie this in a bow. Sometimes bows can be the most challenging part of our cards, can't they? There we go. Sometimes I just want to kind of get it even here. Kind of a fussy bow person. There we go. I'm going to use a mini glue dot This is a take your pick tool. It is fantastic. I use it for just a ton of things. I've just found that they've been very useful. I'm going to curl up a mini glue dot and put it right in here. And I just realized I forgot to zoom my camera back out, so I hope you can even see what I'm doing. Take a little look here. There we go. Sorry about that. That's why it always scares me to zoom my camera out, because I always forget. Or to zoom it in, because I always forget to zoom it back out. Okay, and last but not least, I wanted some of our rhinestones. This has a putty end on it that is perfect for picking up little embellishments. I'm just going to add a rhinestone here, and then I've got a smaller one right there, and how about a medium one right up here? Wow. What do you think? Quick and easy. I love that these nest in each other. Love this designer series paper, that pop of the orange with the rich raspberry, and then voila. Isn't that just gorgeous? Who isn't going to want to get a card like this? Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is what I'm going to do with the piece that we pulled out of here, right? Because now we have the opportunity to make two cards. I'm going to put the inside of this card together just like I did the last one. I didn't put the little dies in the corner here so I could save a little bit of time, but I would definitely do that. I'm going to take this layer and add it right to the front of my card. Oops, I just realized I put this designer paper on here the wrong way, so hang tight. And again, love that glue. You can always fix things if you don't use too much of it. So let's try that again. My strip of designer paper should have gone down here instead of on the short side. Here we go. There we go. Okay, now this time I have taken this label, which is the smallest one here, and I've die cut it from crumb cake cardstock. And I'm going to grab again my Memento ink, that cute little line of pumpkins. I'm going to stamp that as close to the top centered as I can. And then the other little line of flowers, I'm going to stamp, whoops, hang on, I got ink on my fingers. I'm going to stamp as close to the bottom centered as I can. Okay, isn't that kind of just a really neat look? Then I'm going to bring in rich raspberry and the Always Grateful. And that just fits on this label. Have you ever colored on crumb cake cardstock before with the Stampin' Blends? I think it's a really neat look. I'm using the dark pumpkin pie here. And then I've got my light rich raspberry. I'm going to do these smaller little leaves. I'm going to grab the light old olive. The dark crumb cake for the pumpkin stems. And the light pumpkin to blend a little bit. Now our pumpkins aren't going to be as vibrant orange, but I think they still look pretty cool. I forgot to color these down here. Looking for my dimensionals here. We're going to put our dimensionals on. Add that to our card front. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? And then I have a piece of rich raspberry ribbon that I wanted to add on here. So I'm just going to tie that in a bow. And again, I just colored this with the dark rich raspberry Stampin' Blend marker. It was the white crinkled seam binding, same as the last card, just a different color. And where do we want to put this? Right down here? Yep, I'm thinking right there. Mini glue dot. I'm going to curl that up again. Add that right down, whoops, right down here. And last but not least, a few rhinestones. Oops. I think I'll put those on the plaid. My label is a little bit smaller, so I don't want to drown it. There we go. Okay, you guys. Now, I have a couple other little variations that I wanted to show you. I should say one other variation. So we made this card with the white label. This one I made with crumb cake. Which one do you like better? This really is poppy, and this is a little more muted. I also used the Bumblebee Gingham for this one. I like them both. I think they're both stunning. Which one do you like best? And then here's the one where we used the piece we cut out of the middle. And our insides. This uses that little die up there. Aren't these cool? Celebration Tidings stamp set with the celebration labels. This is from the Plaid Tidings suite in the Holiday Mini Catalog. And I have to say that at first I overlooked it. But then I started seeing things online that people were making with it, and I thought it was absolutely outstanding. I love, love, love these label dies. So there you go. I also have 4 additional cards in the private tutorial that you can get when you place an order with me in the month of October. Or you can purchase the tutorial from me for $7. 6 exclusive projects in it. My one project has 4 different cards in it, so that's a huge bonus, right? All right, you guys, please make sure you click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. I always appreciate your orders. This is my current host code. If your order is under $150, please use this code. If it's over $150, don't use the code. You're going to get some rewards from Stampin' Up, and I want you to have those. You can click right up here to head over to my blog. And remember, if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you're in the United States, I would love to earn your business. I can send you catalogs if you need them. It's always fun to have a hard copy to snuggle up in a chair with a cup of coffee and take your time looking through it. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. Bye-bye.